good evening, wherever you are, wherever you're watching this from. This is quite a special video. Obviously, quite recently, these two people on your screen, these two promoters, are now best friends. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that in 2024 and in 2023? Two of the best boxing promoters out there, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, are both now best buddies. And they've recently signed an agreement to have a Queensbury versus Matchroom card. Frank Warren's five best fighters against Eddie Hearn's five best fighters. But the main question is, what 5 versus 5 fights could be on this Queensbury versus Matchroom card? And I've got quite a very long list, to be fair with you. Should we start off with the obvious ones, or should we start off with the bottom of the pile ones? We'll start off with the bottom of the pile ones. And these are the fights I've came off with. I've obviously typed it on my notes. We've got Echo Esserman from Queensbury against John Botson, who is a Matchroom fighter. That fight could happen in the welterweight division. We've got Aino Barota, who had that head clash with Dennis McCann, up against Peter McQuill in a super bantamweight clash. He could have that. He could have Dennis McCann versus Sabaz Masood. That'll be a good fight, won't it? Super bantamweight division. And we got a belter above that from what I picked out. Liam Davis against Modson Atamatiev in a super bantamweight division. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Atamatiev may have a title as well. I mean, that would be a fucking good fight, won't it? Liam Davis and Atamatiev. Got Mark Chamberlain against Darry Tully. I think that's a fair fight, in my opinion. Could go either way. It's both the same level. Got Darren Quinn against Lewis Crocker. That will be a fucking belter if that happened. Of course, Lewis Crocker, who is in action against Jose Farias this weekend as well. That would be a cracker, that one. That would be a proper dust-up between Darren Quinn and Lewis Crocker. The next yet I've got is David Adjaye against Justice Hooney in the heavyweight division. Of course, Justice Hooney, who is the heavyweight prospect at Matchroom. David Adjaye is basically Queensbury's heavyweight prospect as well. Obviously, David Adjaye most recently lost to Falcon Wardy. So I think that would be a fair fight, fair equal playing field as well. Both at the same level for me, I would say, Adjaye and Hooney. Then we move up to the cruiserweight division. Elias Solo against Jordan Thompson, two fighters who got absolutely demolished by Chaya Pataya. Why not put them two against each other? I think that would be still a good fight between them two, a competitive fight between them two, both at the same level, in my opinion. A good old pretty stuff, so you could have a York Hall, Solo versus Thompson. You could have Denzel Bentley. As we move up to the middleweight, you could have Denzel Bentley against Farias Tats. Again, I would say an equal fight, in my opinion. Despite Denzel Bentley's had a world title shot, hasn't he, against Janabek, where he could argue Denzel Bentley probably should have won that fight, to be fair. But then Denzel Bentley did go on to use his precious middleweight title to Nathan Heaney. Then we move on to the lightweight division. I think this would be a bit of a... I did think of this. I've done for some notes against Andy Cruz, but I would say Andy Cruz would win that fight, personally, in my opinion, from what I've seen of both of them. But you got to put it to the test, haven't you? Got to put it to the test. We got the obvious one in the featherweight division, Nathaniel Collins and Hobby Bright. Great fight, great stuff that one. You got the one that people are not mentioning, that people haven't mentioned, is in the cruiserweight division. Tommy Fletcher against Siobhan Clark. I think they both had the equal, both in the same similar territory, in my opinion, at their own respective promotions for me. Why not put them two up against each other? I'll be intrigued to see that fight between Tommy Fletcher and Siobhan Clark. in my opinion. I'll be intrigued to see that. And finally, onto my final yet. We got Hamza Sit. I might need to remove this banner. There we go. Hamza Siraz against Emma Williams, Queensbury versus Matchroom. That's a good fight to have in middleweight division. Raven Chapman and Stein Nicholson, which will probably be for the title. Probably be for Stein Nicholson's WBC world title. If Stein Nicholson can become the WBC champion, because he is due to have a fight for the third WBC belt, which is obviously being stripped of Amanda Serrano. So that'll be a good fight between Raven Chapman and Stein Nicholson. It got Zach Parker against Diego Pacheco. Great fight. I think that would be a great fight in my opinion. Moses Atoma against Moses Atoma versus Johnny Fisher. Perfect. I think that would be a perfect fight, especially with both of them having heavyweight prospects, both similar territory and both fighters, and that would be a proper slugfest between them two. Proper slugfest, and power punches thrown in from both of them, and that would be fire between Atoma and Fisher. And the final alternative I've done for these are that is my alternative. Yes, it's Piers O'Leary versus Dalton Smith in the super lightweight division. Again, you have to say probably similar level in my opinion. But I have done for my 5 fights, the 5 fights I would make on this Queensbury versus Matchroom card. So let's see what I've done for. Starting off with the first one. CA San versus Faith Herdovitz 2, the rematch. Faith Herdovitz technically in with Matchroom. He is with Wasserman. But Eddie Hearn has had Faith Herdovitz on his cards before. So this is why I put it in there. And I think this is a rematch we all want to see, because a lot of people from the first fight argued that CA San was robbed in the fight. I personally disagree. I think CA San, the way to beat CA San, he can tire out in the second half of the fight. And Faith Herdovitz pounced on that. Faith Herdovitz pounced on San's stamina in the second half of the fight. CA San obviously had the first half of the fight for me. He knocked Herdovitz down a few times as well. But CA San, the way to beat CA San is this is a game plan for Joseph Parker as well, by the way, who will face San. By the way, this Queensbury vs Matchroom card, I suspect it will be made before the end of 2024, personally. They want to end it on the ban. Don't they? And I suspect it will be probably December 2024 for this card, personally. I mean, you could have the alternative, yes, before that as well. That would be great. It would be great for Boston. But Sam vs Herdovitz is my first fight I've done for. There's still a story to be settled there between the two of them, in my opinion. And I would love to see that fight again. I personally disagree with those saying that Sam was robbed, because the way to beat Sam is he runs out of stamina in the second half of the fight, and Herdovitz pounced on it. End of the day, style makes fights, don't they? I mean, this is a heavyweight division for you. Say he's knocked your choice out twice, but you got Herdovitz beating Sam. You got Herdovitz beating Sam, and I wouldn't say it was a robbery in my opinion. Personally, when I watched that first fight, I still went for Sam to win that fight. After I watched that first fight, I still would have said Sam won the fight, but only just by the skin of his teeth after Herdovitz was putting the pressure on in the second half of the fight. So that's why I think there needs to be a score settled, and it's a quality fight, people, and it's just so quality. On the 5 vs 5 card, on my 5 vs 5 card, you have got quality, trust me. You have got quality on the card. And all of them are 50-50 fights. on paper and competitive fights as well. So Sam versus Hurleyfitt is my first fight, which that'll be my first fight on my card, the rematch between them two. Up next, we move on to the featherweight, or you could say super featherweight division, and that is Nick Ball versus Yi Wood. A proper pretty studs up in the featherweight division. It depends which weight you want it at. Yi Wood is now a super featherweight. Nick Ball will probably move up to super featherweight once he has his stores to settle by trying winning the world title against Way Fardat on the, I think it's on the AJ and Danu card, I think it is, that he's fighting on pretty soon. Yi Wood is probably going to have his fight with Josh Warrington, his rematch with Josh Warrington, that Nottingham Forest round. So I think it probably sets up for a probably bit of a fancy fight between these two, between Nick Ball and Yi Wood, in my opinion. He could add Joe Cordina in there, potentially. He could add him on there. But I don't think Nick Ball versus Yi Wood would be a proper pretty studs up. And Nick Ball is a bit like a Josh Warrington fighter, isn't he? Bit of a Josh Warrington fighter, but he is quite dirty, isn't he? Quite dirty. And I don't think Yi Wood likes fighters like that. That's what Nick Ball will do. He will try and make the fight dirty, in my opinion. And it'd be a proper swap between these two. And it could probably end up like the Warrington Wood fight, where Ball probably runs out stamina and then Wood knocks him out. So it could be like that, in my opinion. I will obviously for my card I've done here, I will do my early predictions, if they did happen. This is only if they did happen. But on to the next one. In the heavyweight division, Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardy. For me, Fabio Wardy now needs to step up in levels now, in my opinion. Fabio Wardy is expected to fight Fraser Clark next. I think Fabio Wardy beats Fraser Clark personally. I think he's better. I think Fabio Wardy is better than that level for me. I think Fabio Wardy now needs to move on to the top 15 opponents, in my opinion. He's at that level now for me. Daniel Dubois is on the cusp of a world title shot then, after bouncing back in the win against Jamel Miller. Obviously the defeat at Usyk, so Daniel Dubois has already had a world title shot, so he is world title level, Daniel Dubois. So it would be interesting, this fight. It would be very interesting, this fight between these two. And this would be a quality fight to have on the card. Imagine this card was at Wembley, people. Oh my days. People will come at me in the comments saying Fabio Wardy is technically a free agent. He is technically a free agent. But he is still currently with the Matchroom stable. So Fabio Wardy has said he's happy to work with any promoter. So, and on any other promoter's show as well. And that's a fight if Fabio Wardy is. So it's technically Queensbury versus free agent, but he is currently with the Matchroom stable, Fabio Wardy. And that will be the third fight I will have on the card. The fourth fight I will have on the card is, of course, the most popular one, Anthony Yard versus Callum Smith in the light heavyweight division. Both of them recently lost to Artem. Again, this is why the fight makes sense for me. Like, Anthony Yard probably offered more than Callum Smith did against Artem, offered more of a threat. But who is the better fighter between these two? I still personally think Callum Smith is. I still think Callum Smith is the better fighter than Anthony Yard, but not by much. It's not by much. At this current stage, it's a proper 50-50, and maybe you could favour Anthony Yard, choose that activity in the fight. So that would be my fourth fight, personally. Anthony Yard versus Callum Smith. And we move on to the main event. And we all know what the main event is. We've been asking for it for years, haven't we? and that is, of course, Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. Two out of the 3 best heavyweights in the world right now. I would put both of them behind Alexander Usyk at this current stage. I think both of them are behind Usyk in terms of best heavyweights in the world. And this is the fight. This is the fight all of us British fans have been complaining about, or warning about, or what we all wanted. It'd be the biggest ever fight to be held in Britain between 2 British fighters, between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua currently at the moment, currently getting his confidence back. Slowly getting his confidence back. A lot of questions asked about Tyson Fury. This could well be an undisputed fight, potentially. Because AJ could end up fighting Herdefist in the summer for the vacant IBF belt once we have an undisputed champion between Fury and Usyk. And by the way, there's a lot of things to play in this, because I actually think Usyk could retire after he becomes undisputed champion. If he becomes undisputed champion against Tyson Fury, I actually think Usyk will retire straight away, personally. And then the belts will be all scattered on once again, which is what we want. I think that's what we want, surely, in this division. Belts or no belts, this is the biggest fight in boxing, money-wise. Economically, money-wise, this is the biggest fight in boxing, in the heavyweight division. Biggest fight in the heavyweight division, which is what we all wanted, which is what we all want. I mean, it would be funny to see Eddie Hearn have a conversation with the likes of John Fury and all of them. The press conference would be absolutely Tyson Fury calling Anthony Joshua all the names under the sun. While Anthony Joshua probably will have his earpods in, which is, for me, very disrespectful. I said in my live Q&A, you shouldn't be doing that. You should be taking them earpods out. And but imagine that card. Imagine this card from me at Wembley. It ain't gonna be at Wembley, unfortunately. I think it will be in Saudi, the Queensbury versus Matchroom card, which is very disappointing for me. I know we're all happy at the moment that Saudi are getting us these fights. But the card I've got here, should be at Wembley. Should be at Wembley Stadium. Oh my days, imagine that at Wembley. Imagine that at Wembley. You got Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, the biggest fight in British boxing, as the main event. You got Callum Smith versus Anthony Yard, proper British stuff in that heavyweight division. You got Daniel Dubois versus Fabio Wardier in the heavyweight division. You got Nick Ball versus Yi Wood. You got the rematch between C.A. San and Faith Herdefist. Oh my days, you can't get any better than that. Trust me. Just put me on the Matchroom. Just put me in the matchmaking for any promoter. Trust me, I know how to make fights for you. Get me on there. Get me part of the team. I'll help all the promoters out, including Ben Sion. I think Ben Sion needs a massive help at the moment. But just imagine that, people. Just imagine that as a card. For me, that would be my 5 versus 5 Queensbury versus Matchroom card for me, honestly. And this is the fight. Obviously, this is the main one we all want. It's Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua does well, then his fight is the same height as him, and these two are the same height as each other. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. But yes, hope the fight that's made. And I think Tyson Fury still needs this fight as well to probably cement his legacy. Because even if Fury wins or gets beat off Usyk, I can still see Tyson Fury taking that anti-Joshua fight. Too much money in it. Too much money in that fight. For me. Tyson Fury loves his money, as does Anti-Joshua. AJ is a cash cow as well. Both of these are cash cows, let's be real. And it all makes sense. Unfortunately, this is done being Saudi. Unfortunately, because both of these fighters are greedy. Both these fighters are done be greedy. Like both these fighters don't be greedy, which is don't be impossible to make in the UK, in my opinion. Oh, I just wish there was a scenario where Saudi can probably pay for this fight to be made in the UK. That's what I would want, really. Like pay these fighters the money to try and have the fight in the UK. But it's just don't be in Saudi, ain't it, people? It's just don't be so unfortunate. And that won't be right for me. For me, that just wouldn't be right at all. Seeing Fury versus Joshua in Saudi instead of the UK, it'd just be so disappointing. And I think that's a big question, isn't it? I think that is a big question, isn't it? That if this happens in Saudi, it's a massive drop off, ain't it? In terms of British main events held in the UK, it's a massive drop off. I'm not saying Josh Taylor versus Jack Pato is a massive drop off. That's still a dud fight, a dud dust up between them two. But it's a massive drop off, isn't it? It's a massive drop off. You're quite limited on the main events you can make in the UK. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. That's always going to be spoken about. That's going to be a fight that surely has to be made in the UK as well. Whether, obviously, with all the going-ons behind Conor Benn at the moment, we still probably want to see that fight, don't we? Because of the two names, basically. The two names. So that will probably be made in the UK once Conor Benn is cleared and all that sort of stuff. Once that saga ends, he'll probably get a license then, in my opinion. So they're quite limited in the UK for main events. Because these two, Fury versus Joshua, people, it's going to happen in Saudi, isn't it? The Saudis will want to have that fight in their own country as well. This is very disappointing for me. Very disappointing. Imagine the UK atmosphere for Fury versus Joshua, the biggest fight you can ever make in Britain. The biggest fight you can make in Britain, but it's going to be a dead atmosphere in Saudi. But imagine having it in the UK. Imagine my card at Wembley Stadium. Fireworks, absolutely fireworks, trust me. And they're all competitive fights as well. They're all competitive fights that can go either way. So, but yeah, do I make my predictions for this? Now, I'm going to leave it to the comments, actually. I'm going to leave it to the comments. So, feel free to go 5 versus what? Feel free to leave what 5 versus 5 fights would you make on the Queensbury versus Matchroom card in the comments down below. And what will be your predictions for my card? For my card, I have made for this. If it was to happen, what would be your predictions? Who would win, Queensbury or Matchroom? There will be a winner. And yes, you've gone for draws in Oldham. So, but yeah, quite a special video to do for me. Quite a special video to do. As Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are now best buddies and now looking to get a Queensbury versus Matchroom card on, which is great for boxing, great for us boxing fans. Hopefully it's in the UK. That would be nice, but it probably won't be. It'll be in Saudi. And but feel free to see your thoughts down below. What will be your 5 versus 5 fights down below in the comments? And what will be your predictions for my card down below in the comments? I'll be intrigued to know the comments and your 5 versus 5 fights in the comments down below. Take care, stay safe, and see you.